I want to be me. In fact, I make a lot of money by just being me. Like I can just be me. That's why I love doing what I do for a living, because I can show you. I mean, you see me on stage, I'm me. I make mistakes. I mispronounce words, but it makes me relevant because folks are like, oh my gosh, you can be you. You can just be the best version of you and still earn an amazing living.
Well, you do a great job of it because there are about 100 imposters on social media who want to be you. I mean, cut it out, guys. Seriously. I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead, babe.
No, so all I'm saying is I want everyone to watch when we say, man, I'm just trying to be you. I want you to watch yourself because, again, those words have power.
Yeah.
And now what we do is anything that we feel does not line up with us being that person in the comparison, then we feel like we're failing. But you can't feel like you're failing if you're just working on being a better version of you.
Of yourself, yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm better than I was, right? I say this all the time. So if that's the case, I'm actually not failing. I'm moving forward. I'm only failing if I'm trying to be someone else.
Yeah, that's good.
How am I failing if I'm actually better, regardless of results? I'm actually better. So I'm actually progressing. I'm further along. I'm moving forward.
If you're a go-getter, faith-driven and family-focused and need to break through to your next level, this is the podcast for you. Your self-talk can reshape every area of your life. It's time to dream and think big. Welcome to the Self-Talk Experience with Darnell and Tracy Self. It's time to elevate, baby. Let's get into the show.
Welcome back to the Self-Talk Experience.
Hey, what's up? Remember, talk good to yourself.
Yes, the things you say to yourself about yourself, right, babe?
That's right. Eventually determine what and even who you attract for yourself. Listen, guys, we are so excited about teaching, coaching, inspiring others to talk better to themselves. And I know for us, we've been saying better things to ourselves. And I felt like before the podcast, I was already saying good things to myself.
I know, but I'm so intentional now.
Yeah.
I don't think I necessarily said bad things, but I don't know if I was saying good things.
Yeah. And I don't know if we were catching when we were saying things that could have been better.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
So
Yes.
hopefully you guys are in that same place now where if you've been watching our podcast episodes or listening to our podcast episodes, that you're starting to catch yourself and say, you know what, I could say that better. Yes, maybe it's something good, but could I say something better to myself?
That's good.
Yeah. And I think, this episode, I really want to talk about that because it's okay to be you. Like, you shouldn't want to be the best version of someone else. You should want to be the best version of ourselves.
Right.
I once heard it said, I'd rather be rejected for who I am than to be accepted for who I'm not.
But it's okay to be inspired by someone else, to look up to someone else. That's different than not being authentically you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can become better by watching someone else and listening to someone else, right?
Yep. No, it's very true. What if you accepted me for who I wasn't?
Well, how would I know though? Because sometimes,
this is my point.
Yeah, people put on a facade.
Yeah, this is my point.
Right?
You wouldn't, but I would. I would know whether I was participating in the imposter syndrome.
Wow, yeah.
And I would know, like, I hope she never really finds out that I'm not that guy.
Yes.
I hope she never finds out that everything I've been saying, I'm really hoping to catch up to be that person because I'm not at all.
But a lot of times that's true when you meet someone new, right?
Yeah.
And you're dating them and you're getting to know them. Sometimes their representative shows up, right? And then after 2 months, you really get to understand, wait, this is who you are, not that, right?
Worse, 2 years, 12,
Yeah. Wow.
20. Some folks their representative show up for a long time.
Yeah.
And
that could be with any relationship though.
No, you're right.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship.
Yeah. No, that's true. But this is a challenge I have with the saying, fake it till you make it. In my space, we used to say that all the time, like, fake it till you make it. In other words, pretend like you've made it before you made it. And I realized the reason why we were saying philosophically, act as if.
Right.
Like, put yourself in a place where you're already, when you wake up in the morning, how would you feel if you were already at a place where you were making what it is you desire to make? Like, if $1 million was that goal, how do you feel now when you wake up as a millionaire? Like, what do you think now? And like maybe draw that, attract that based on how you feel.
Yeah, but we're in our 50s.
Yeah.
So it was easier to visualize that then. Now you have social media. You can literally fake it till you make it. You really
That's
can.
so true.
You really can.
Look, I saw this. I don't know if anyone's seen this clip on social media, but it was a detergent bottle, and the person had their camera right up to the handle of the detergent bottle, which looked like the airplane window. But they were really had the phone looking like they were looking out of an airplane, but they were looking through the handle of a detergent bottle. And when they backed up, you could see it was not an airplane, it was a detergent bottle, which is crazy.
Right.
My point is, you can pretend, like you said, on social media.
No, you can. And so you can take it even further too. So let's say 2 years ago, we went on a trip.
Okay.
We went on a trip and we have videos and pictures of this trip. Well, we haven't been on a trip in 2 years, but today I'm posting that same clip from the trip. Is that's faking it till you make it? Or is that, what is that?
Right. It is one thing if it's a throwback, right? If it's throwback Thursday.
No, I'm not
for the
saying
trip.
a throwback.
Right.
I'm saying like you get your makeup done in 2018 and then you post a picture in 2023. Got my makeup done. No, you didn't.
Right. That's not throwback Thursday. That's
Yeah.
fake it Friday.
No, but I get your point.
Right.
I was just saying that a lot of times it's just easy to do.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do.
Yeah. No, you're right. And that's the reason why I wanted to really have this episode is because I believe there's a lot of folks who perhaps aren't necessarily happy with where they are.
Well, so do you think that's why that we do it? Because we're not happy where we are, so we take ourselves back to a time when we were happy and we still want the perception to be that we're happy, perhaps?
That's so fun. That's one of our episodes.
Innocently enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think people's intention is to be disingenuous and lie.
Sometimes it's manipulative.
Sometimes it's not.
Yeah. Sometimes it's manipulative because people want people to think that they're somebody they're not. And a lot of times that comes from insecurity.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And so there's an insecurity there because when you're secure with yourself, you're like, look, right now, quite honestly, I don't have a lot, but I already know where I'm headed.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know God has called me to do more than what I'm doing right now, to be more than the things that I've accomplished right now. But I'm on my way. The one thing I can say is that if I spend some time with me reflecting, I've written down my goals. I'm really excited about where I'm headed. Am I as excited about where I've been? Yes, because of the lessons that I've learned. And yes, because of the person I believe I've become through those hard times. But I am excited, even more excited about my future because I know that it has, what I've gone through has humbled me so that I'll never forget where I've come from. At least that's my prayer, right? So that could be somebody.
Yeah, but you always help us because you always help us get to a place where we can say that, babe.
Yeah.
That's you telling somebody to sit with their self. I was just talking about this on the last episode we did. That's not easy to do, to say, you know what? I really need to take some time and work on me and focus on me. And sometimes when you're sitting alone with yourself, you realize, wow, that's not nice. Wow, that's not cool. Wow, I shouldn't have said that. I should. When you're really honest with yourself and look in the mirror. And sometimes it's just easier not to do it.
Yeah.
It's just easier to say, well, this is who I am. This is who I'm going to be. Well, but you can be better.
Yeah.
So I love what you just said, to just be honest. But sometimes it's hard to get to that step.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, and part of that is because, again, we want people to feel a certain way about us. And when we are more concerned about what other people think about us, and again, as I said in the very beginning, I'd rather be rejected for who I am. Like, if people decide they're not going to be my friend because of who I am, I'd rather them choose to not be my friend for who I am than to be my friend for someone who I'm not.
Right.
Right? Because then, again, that's not a genuine relationship anyway. They're only my friend because of who they think I am. And at some point, they're going to realize I'm not that person. So they're wrong and I'm wrong. I'm wrong because I was faking it. They're wrong because they only want to be my friend because of perhaps material things, and I shouldn't say that, because perhaps the person they thought I was, they were attracted to that because they thought that's who I was. So that's why I got a question for you. I got this question for you because this one, my co-host, you have reinvented yourself often over at least the past decade, even more often. You've reinvented yourself since the time I've met you, but you have reinvented yourself frequently over the past decade. And people often say that to me too. They're like, dude, you reinvent yourself all the time. Hair, no hair, all kinds of stuff I do. But you do not say anything, Janelle. But what happens is that you reinvent yourself. And I don't even know what the motivation comes from. You're just like, all right, I'm going to be a pescatarian.
Well, thank you for the compliment, first of all.
That's a huge compliment.
Thank you.
Because you will take something you've been doing for your entire life and say, you know what, I'm not going to do that anymore. It is hard when you've got a habit that you have consistently reinforced. I mean, you didn't just eat burgers.
Oh my gosh.
You like burgers with bacon on it. You had the sunny side up on. You had the egg, the bacon, the everything on the burger. And now you're like, I'm just going to be a pescatarian. And how long have you been a pescatarian now?
2.5 years. So it's not a long time.
Right. So no meat except for fish.
Right.
For 2.5 years.
Right.
Okay, let's just talk, because this is gonna take us somewhere with this episode.
Oh
so what caused you, first of all, what motivated you to say, you know what? And it may not be profound. It may just, I don't know, you just made a decision. What made you decide to be a pescatarian?
Well, we went on a trip and I really overindulged on the trip. So after the trip, I said, I'm going to do a juice cleanse for, I think it was 3 days. And after I did the cleanse for 3 days, I said, okay, I'm still going to give my system a break. Maybe I won't have any meat. And it just kind of continued on. And then as I started thinking more about my health, I realized that my blood type functions better actually as a vegetarian. So for me, it's kind of a compromise because I'm eating better for my blood type, but I could even be better if I didn't have any protein. But
Right,
but that's kind of the path. Yeah,
right.
but that's kind of the path.
Yeah.
That it was. And then I started feeling better.
Right.
And I said, I like feeling like this.
Right.
And then so now I'm committed to, I don't know how long.
Right.
I might break down one day because talking about the bacon sounded so good.
Okay. But guess what? You're the person. Now this is what I'm talking about with this episode, which we're talking about. It's okay to be you, but why not become the best version of you? Not the best version of someone else, but the best version of you.
Yeah.
So you're deciding, you know what? I think there's a better version of me health-wise.
I did.
Right? So you decided, I'm going to be a pescatarian. So that's helpful when you have someone around you who respects, appreciates, and supports this next version of you. Because what if I said, girl, come on now. Ain't nothing wrong with eating this burger. And I continue to push that on you. But instead, I'm like, hey, babe, they have an Impossible Burger right here. They have a Beyond. We go to places specifically so that you have more of a selection.
That's true.
For what it is that you want. Like when I treat you to dinner and I say treat you like I never take you to dinner, but like I'm going to treat you to dinner tonight. I know it's been for 8 months, but when we decide to go out to dinner, I specifically look for places that will give you the best options for fish because I support your pescatarian life. That's not about me though. It's about you because that's the best version. That's a better version of you. And I want to support that version of you.
Yeah, baby. We talk about all the time, surrounding yourself with people who love you and support you. So I just wouldn't surround myself with people who didn't do that. Why would I surround myself with someone who's telling me to eat the burger, right? You support me when I want to go get coffee. Sometimes I'm not even thinking about coffee, but you pull up to a brand new spot we've never been to. I surround myself with people who love me and want for me to be happy, right?
Yeah.
And I do the same thing. I think about you just like you think about me. Why would I want to be around a friend or a significant other that doesn't do that?
Yeah.
But we talk about that all the time, right?
No, that's.
But you have to love yourself enough because there are so many situations where people are in a relationship where it's the opposite, but they stay.
Right. Yeah.
But that's a whole different.
Yeah. So as you're deciding, because, in our audience and our avatar is someone who's making a decision, right? The audience, our target audience that we're speaking to every episode is someone
who's ready
for a change. They're ready to become a better version of themselves. And they're right there at the decision, but they can go either way. And we've been there. This is why we decided to do this. We've been there where any The wrong association could have took us back the other way. Could have taken us back the other way.
Absolutely.
Right. So, and that's why we wanted to do this, because there's somebody who's, in their 30s right now, who's already realized, you know what, this job is not exactly what I thought it was going to be in terms of helping me to realize all of my dreams. I can pay the bills, have a house, have a car, but I want more than that. And that's what we were. Yeah. It's like, this is nice. It's a nice job, but we wanted more than that.
Yes.
I wanted to become a better version of Darnell. I wanted us to have a better version of our family. And that meant that all of us had to make a decision to support each other in our goals.
Yeah.
So, Miss Pescatarian,
What?
you decided that, you know what, I'm gonna go for this. You've been sticking to it. But if you decided today that, you know what, now I'm gonna be a vegetarian, it would be a different discipline.
Yes.
Still discipline, but different menus. These are all optional for you. But we have kids who are allergic to seafood. And you're only eating seafood.
Right.
You have kids that are allergic to eating seafood. So then you have folks who have to decide now that, hey, I've got to make a change in order for you to be the best version of yourself. That's voluntary what you're doing. But then it's mandatory for like our kids, like Milan. It's really hard for her to be around folks that eat seafood if they're going to kiss her and hug her. She's okay if you're sitting at one end of the table, but your sister literally can't even be at the same table if someone's eating seafood.
But when you surround yourself with people who care about you, I can eat vegetables. It's okay.
Right.
I don't eat with my sister every day.
Right.
So the times I do get to eat with her, I eat what makes her comfortable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I guess it's all
so it works both ways.
Yep. But again, we're talking about, this is why I love this episode, because we are talking about, are you around people who respect the shift that's going to be necessary for you to get to your next level?
You know what I just thought about? I wonder, because I didn't all of a sudden, now that I'm thinking about it, get this big idea to want to be a pescatarian. I wonder if, because it's been around the time since the kids weren't in the house. And I wonder if for me, I was being respectful and thinking so much of them, and I waited.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
That is interesting. That is interesting.
But again, it goes to show how you think of others.
Yeah.
And surrounding yourself with people who think of you just as much as they think of themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like I don't think twice about ordering seafood if your sister's around, because I know you can't even be around her.
Yeah.
I don't even, when I look at a menu, even if they have seafood on the menu, it's not like I'm like, can't have that. That'd be really rude. I wish I could have this, but Karen's here, can't have that. Oh, this is going to be the worst night. I don't think about it at all.
It's not even a thought.
It's not even a thought.
Right.
And so what I'm saying, and that's for an allergy. Now let's take the allergy out. I'm going to get here, because let's take the allergy out now. Okay. If someone's saying to you, hey, listen, I'm in a tough place. And daily, unfortunately, I have to fight not to think about how tough this is. Mm-hmm. Like, I have to intentionally and consciously put myself in a place where I can gain the energy to go out on to do what I need to do to be mom, do what I need to do in order to work my career, do what I need to do to go exercise, because quite honestly, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like going to the gym. I don't feel like being mom. I don't feel like going to work because my circumstances are overwhelming. Mm-hmm. I haven't been there in a long time, in a very, very long time, when it was like, I just want to put the pillow over my head and pretend like this life doesn't exist. And maybe when I take the pillow off of my head, a different life will exist. To be in that place, that's genuinely you at that moment. And for you to be vulnerable enough to express that to someone who you care about and you love, and who you hopefully you feel like that person loves you and feels the same way about you, that person will support the shift necessary for you to get to your next level.
Right.
That is not as easy as we're making it sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I knew seafood would cause you to need an EpiPen or go to the hospital, that's a little easier.
That's
And some people, it's not
little,
even easy, right?
Yeah,
some people, they still like, can you eat seafood, right? I'm like, dude, it would damage her.
Yeah.
But what we're talking about now is that it's not even mandatory. You have to choose. I'll choose to be who you need me to be in order for you to be who you have to be.
Yes.
So when I said that in the beginning, I want to be me. In fact, I make a lot of money by just being me. Like I can just be me. That's why I love doing what I do for a living, because I can show you. I mean, you see me on stage, I'm me. I make mistakes. I mispronounce words, but it makes me relevant because folks are like, oh my gosh, you can be you. You can just be the best version of you and still earn an amazing living.
Well, you do a great job of it because there are about 100 imposters on social media who want to be you. I mean, cut it out, guys. Seriously. I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead, babe.
No, so all I'm saying is I want everyone to watch when we say, man, I'm just trying to be you. I want you to watch yourself because, again, those words have power.
Yeah.
And now what we do is anything that we feel does not line up with us being that person in the comparison, then we feel like we're failing. But you can't feel like you're failing if you're just working on being a better version of you.
Of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm better than I was, right? I say this all the time. So if that's the case, I'm actually not failing. I'm moving forward. I'm only failing if I'm trying to be someone else.
Yeah, that's good. That's
How am I failing if I'm actually better, regardless of results? I'm actually better. So I'm actually progressing. I'm further along. I'm moving forward.
But that could be a whole nother topic, focusing on the wins.
Yeah.
Right?
We talked about that in an episode.
I mean-
Yeah. So we'll talk about that in the next episode a little bit more, perhaps.
Okay.
Okay, or one episode. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, listen. Be comfortable being you. But don't become comfortable with the results that the current you have when there's a better version of you out there. Not a better version of someone else. There's a better version of you that will attract better results because your standards may increase, which you accept will increase. How you teach other people to treat you will shift.
But also who you attract will increase too, right?
Absolutely. And who you repel.
Right. Right.
Certain people won't make it to the inner circle.
At all. Or some
Right.
people may have to get pushed out.
Yeah, they're automatically up because they can't exist.
They can't fit.
in that circle from the person that you become now.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's why I want you to be okay being you. That's you. That's your circle.
Yeah.
And everyone who's supposed to be in that circle will be attracted to that circle based on you becoming a better version of you. But watch out, because as you become this better version, you are repellent to certain people and certain things, certain environments. You just you don't even want to go to anymore. You don't even want the burger with the bacon on top of it anymore. Right? You don't even want it, right? Because you honestly don't look at a burger and say, oh man, I want maybe once every 7 or 8 months, she's like, oh, I kind of want a burger. But you don't really want it. You just kind of say it. Yeah. So that's my point. At some point, you don't even want what you think, what the current you wants right now, the next you won't even want.
And it won't even be a thought.
And it won't even be a thought.
It won't be a thought.
Man.
Yeah.
All right, guys, remember, these are all the things we're saying to ourselves about ourselves so that we can start attracting new things for ourselves.
That's it. No, I'm not going to say anything.
There's a staple with you saying and now. People like wait for it.
No, babe, I just want to make sure that you support the people who support you. So if your husband loves fries, make sure on Friday you take him to get fries.
Okay, that's one thing she has not given up, guys. It's fries on Friday. All right, guys, we'll see you guys the next time. Take care. God bless.
Thank you for listening to the Self-Talk Podcast with Darnell and Tracy Self. We hope you enjoyed. Be sure to rate and review this podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform. And we'll see you next time. And remember, talk good to yourself.